I'm not sure if I'm going to be alone on this one, but today was one of those days that it wasn't, horrible. You're just ready for it to be over, but you're just waiting to go to the gym and just get a lift in because you need something to save you from what the day currently is. So I don't know if that makes any sense, but that's where I'm at right now. So I could not be more thrilled to be heading to the gym right now, especially since I'm hitting arms. It definitely seems to be that arms are the cure for every problem in my life. Not to say that there's any problems going on right now, but if there were any, hitting arms would definitely clear those away. So, to all of you non-lifters out there that are looking for a reason to start going to the gym, take a look at your arms in the mirror and then realize it's time to go to the gym and hit arms. So I know I do that every single day. Every day would be arm day if I had the ability to do so. But that wouldn't really be conducive to any gains, unfortunately. But I think we're going to continue the trend of doing the Smith Skull Crushers first. Those have been feeling solid. I really like those. They feel good on my elbows. I don't know why I keep scratching my face. It's just a bad habit. Anyway, Smith Skull Crushers probably will go into maybe some overhead cable stuff. I don't really know. Some cables, some free weights. I might do some dumbbell skull crushers. That might be nice. I like throwing those in every now and then. The thing for me I'm trying to find is, I don't know what it is, but getting a mind-muscle connection with my triceps is just extremely difficult for me. So I'm going to mess around with my hand positioning on the skull crushers and see what feels best. It's kind of like a mix of, if I put my hands too close, it puts pressure on my wrists, and then if I put my elbows, too far away, then I don't feel anything in my triceps. So we'll see. Definitely going to be experimenting today. And then with biceps, it's as simple as it gets. You just curls. And, I'm going to admit curls are not my favorite exercise, and they tend to get a little repetitive after a while, which would kind of make sense as to why I think my biceps or my arms in general. So let me just set the record straight here. I don't think I have small arms. I just don't think I have great arms. And it's like they have a decent amount of size. They just don't really have the kind of shape that I want. So it's probably just that they need to be bigger. But I think for me, focusing on a deep contraction with the bicep curls is what I really need to focus on to build up my peaks. I have a long bicep insertion. I don't have the short head. And there's positives and negatives to both. The positives of having a longer bicep is that your bicep is just bigger, but it's harder to get the peak. And the peaks don't look nearly as good. So it's kind of like a trade-off in a sense. But either way, I want the biggest biceps that I can get. It just might be a little repetitive to get there, which I'm not complaining. It's just, there's going to be some aspects of training that aren't going to be your favorite. And that's no excuse to not do it. It just means you got to persevere a little bit more. So that's what we're going to do today. And it's going to be a good one. So I guess I'll just see you at the first set of triceps. Okay, so I'm actually in a little bit of a rush. This workout's gonna take a minute. I got tris, bis, calves, abs, and cardio. And I got work in the morning. So what I'm gonna do, these are actually feeling really good. So I'm just gonna keep rolling out on these. And then I might finish with some push downs, but I just dropped the weight by about 30 pounds or so. But I don't know if this is universally known, but instead of wrapping my thumb around the bar, I wrap my thumb over the bar like a suicide grip, and it takes pressure off of my elbows. So if any of you guys have elbow pain on any overhead tricep movements, give that a shot and see if it works for you. So, today's video was a little bit shorter, and I explained earlier that I was in a bit of a time crunch, and that just has to do with the way today's workout is set up. I do have tries and buys, and then I throw calves in at the end, and I'm doing abs every day, and then on top of posing and cardio and eating, that's like 7 things. 7 different things. So, that's a lot. And I want to keep calves in, and I might throw them in on a different day. Maybe back day, just because there's not as much going on. But we'll see. I do want to mention, since I am in prep, that is the focus. So some of the videos might end up being a little bit shorter. And by shorter, I just mean not filming as many sets. And I think that's okay, because most of the sets look the same. They're kind of repetitive. And I'm not really amazing at getting different angles or, crazy with videography or anything. So it's pretty much just going to be the same thing, the essential gist of the workout, but less footage. So unless you really like watching each and every set, nothing's going to change too much. But it's not like setting up a tripod and hitting record takes up very much time, but it does take up some of my focus. I am trying to, work out and get shots and make sure that, I'm in frame and all of this kind of stuff. And it's not like, I would say it takes away maybe 15 to 15% of my focus. But when I'm in prep and the closer I get to the show, probably, the videos are going to end up being shorter. Probably not going to have the energy to talk nearly as much as I do now, which might be a blessing for some of you guys if you don't like listening to me ramble. But then again, I don't see why you would be watching these videos if you didn't enjoy listening to me talk. But I just want to make sure that I'm putting 100% into this prep. And if I need to not record a video or whatever I got to do, I'm going to do it, right? So these videos I love making them, but when it comes down to prep, that's my number one goal. So that's what we're going to focus on. And same thing with the posing, right? There was no posing tonight. I just had to go from one thing right to the next. So I did pose on my own time, but it was kind of after I got everything done. So I was kind of flat and, just getting my mandatories in, my quarter turns and my, front double buys and side chests and all that good stuff. So there wasn't really much to see from a spectator's perspective. Although it is kind of nice to just see it as like a documentation kind of thing. But I think it would be kind of cool, especially as we go further into this prep, to maybe cut back on some of the pump reveals, just so we can kind of see more changes from pose down to pose down. But we'll see. That is to be determined. Don't exactly have a plan yet, but the workout though, it was solid. Funny enough, right after I recorded that clip of me saying that doing the suicide grip on the skull crushers took pain off of my elbow, or pressure off of my elbow, I have a very bad wrist pain now. So it hurts to do this, to bend my wrist back. So that's great. Got a little bit of an injury, nothing too bad. Just going to go easy on it. I do have chest. What's today? Whatever my next training day is going to be chest. So I might have to be a little bit more conscious of the weight that I am throwing around and how I am moving it, which is okay. Injuries aren't necessarily always 100% bad. Most of the time, or a lot of the time, an injury occurred because you were doing something improperly in your technique. And if you want to continue to move forward after your injury has been healed, you can take what you learned from that injury and prevent that from happening again by not putting yourself in the same position. So use your injuries as tools. They are lessons. I'm not exactly sure what caused this wrist pain. It might have been, I might have been holding the bar a little bit too close, or I might have had a little too much weight and was pushing through my wrist rather than my triceps. But either way, probably going to go a little bit light on anything that puts pressure on my wrist for a couple of weeks so we can let that heal up, because being able to press and extend my arm throughout prep is going to be very, very crucial to the success of this prep. But anyway, that's going to be it for the night. I appreciate y'all for stopping by, and I'll see you when I see ya.